I'm off today. I had something to laugh about with my mom. I don't know what something the photo went on the. I can show you guys this one. I don't know. There's my mom in the back, so she's like really not happy about it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. That was a bit of like last minute for me to announce it. And honestly, I think this morning I had this like slight moment of like, oh my God, I'm so fed up about these accusations. And I just like, whatever it takes, I want to like sit down with all of them and talk to them why they're thinking the ways they do about my story and about the things that I advocate for. So I just like really wanted to give an opportunity for people to have a thought, like questions about my story and what is happening to North Korea, and more like just like really focus on the things told people like the inconsistencies or whatever the things they believe in. I think it's really fair for them to have questions because anyone being in public get that. So I understand why some people have questions or why some people think I'm a liar. And you can never offend me as much as I've been talking to you. I cannot be offended, and I just hope you be polite and be very specific about your question today because I'm really here to answer things and you judge based on my answers. I don't need to tell you what I'm telling is truth or not. I don't need that. I'm here to really genuinely sit down with you, have a conversations. But I think before I start that, I just want to say, so this is like very surprising for me coming from North Korea. Only interaction that I had with the people were always in person. I never had any virtual interactions. Maybe this is why I felt that people were so mean in this world where we have way less problems than North Koreans do. But I felt like people are so vicious here. And I should think that when I talk with you guys in person, I hope today that you treat me like a person, not virtually. I hope you understand I'm a human being too. And a lot of people ask me in the past, like, do you ever like not get upset? But this is a state where I'm a bit upset, maybe quite upset. So let's see it doesn't go too violently. So let's go through the questions, guys. I'm really trying to do this. So people, thank you guys. You guys are so nice. I know. So I can just explain things, the lies that I thought were being spreaded about me. So today, I'm gonna give you guys the timeline of my being as an like activist. So in 2012, when I was like 17 or 18 years old, I was freshman in college, and there was a TV show called Now on My Way to Meet You in South Korea reached out to me, said, if you come to our show and talk, and they said, would you like to come to our show? And back then they somehow thought, I was pretty. So that show the motive was about bringing pretty girls from the North Korean side and letting them have a conversation with the South Korean men. So the motto was like chat with beautiful ladies. And they invited me to be on the show. And I was afraid of Kim Woo-jim. So I was really afraid for my family who I left behind. And I couldn't risk my life, and everyone that I loved. So I said no to them. Thank you so much, James. So I said no, but then the first episode went out, and I saw my fellow men on the show talking about how they survived in China, how they survived in North Korea, and I couldn't believe that it was a time for North Koreans to share their stories. So the producer called me again and said, would you still not want to come on the show? And then he said like, oh, if you come on the show, we can help you to find your sister, because Chinese really love Korean, South Korean shows, so it will be broadcast to China. And I thought, okay, maybe I go on the show, I might be able to find my sister. His sister, because that back then I was still lost my sister in 2012. So on the show, I did go on the show, but it was like thank you, Tommy. It was entertainment show, guys. It has a script, and and it is a heavily edited show. So edited show. It's not like, the thing I love about YouTube is that, guys, I can do whatever I want, and this is like entire me, that I have my own storytelling. But when you're on a huge TV show with like 14 other guests, and then South Koreans are like 6 people, like 20 people talking in such a short amount of time, it and this is also entertainment show. It's not a documentary, so they try to create very fun things in that show. Anyway, so in that show, I talked about more like the times that I lived relatively good with before my father's arrest. And this is also, very such a short amount of time too. And then, of course, they told me like, oh, you're the Paris Hilton of North Korea. And how the heck do I know what is Paris Hilton coming from North Korea? So I didn't even know who that was. I only knew who she was recently after watching her documentary on YouTube. So they told me that you're the Paris Hilton of North Korea. And I thought like, okay, whatever they say, it should be something funny character, because they said everybody in the media entertainment industry, you got to have your character, and that is something more interesting for the people to have. But even though in that show I was pretending to be filling the narrative of the person they wanted to me, I still had a episode where I was saying why I had escaped after my father's arrest, and why I lost my sister. I was looking for her. So even in that show, I still told what was happening. But after that show passed in 2014, so I gave a talk in Wonyoung World, guys, right? And in that speech, all I did was talking about my mom's rape. And I did not talk about mine at all. But before I admitted, I was in South Korea, a junior student who was studying criminal justice in a university. I was still 19 years old. And I think a lot of you might be wondering why I got married so early and why I have a son. I was married at 22, right? Who does that in New York City? And I had my son right after. So I don't know, something about me, like as soon as I was born, as a young girl, like all I wanted to be was like being a mother, being a wife to somebody. I know it's not an ambitious dream to have nowadays as a woman, but that's all I wanted. Like my dream was never like escaping or becoming an activist or becoming a media personality. My dream was being a mother. And in South Korea, as like 19, 20 years old, and I tell people that I was raped for 2 years since I was 13 to 15, then they are going to think of me as slut. And the things that I went through that 2 years from physical abuse, that I couldn't talk about it. So I had to lie again to survive in South Korea. But the thing is, like, as you can see right now, there are a lot of people talking about North Korean human rights issues, but there are not many North Korean girls who survived, who went through what I went through, do not come out to talk about their experience, because in South Korea, it's not a country where they're accepting the victims or the rape survivors. So I did lie that part. But the thing is, I'm making clear distinction here. After that happened, when it came to the point when I was writing my book in end of 2014, in early 2015, I realized that if I put any one single lie in my book, I thought this book doesn't have a power. My story will not have a power to change things better for my people. And that's when I realized I gotta be so brutally honest in order for this story to have anything impact in this world. So sitting down with my mom and my sister and 3 of us, and not only us, with the people who crossed the desert with me, who were in North Korea with me, my friend who I grew up with her, everybody that I knew. You guys don't think like Penguin gets this news? Of course, there are so many trolls sending Penguin, my publisher. Like not only these trollings, North Korean regime reached out to Penguin and saying, if you guys write this book, we're gonna blow Penguin down. The publisher I'm talking about. So penguins are not stupid. They are like the professional. They know what they're doing. So they use their legal team and they made the voice recording of the survivors that I wrote in my book. And they got the voice recordings of it. If somebody says lie about my book, then we are going to sue them with the facts. But once I wrote my book, guys, there hasn't been even one single article that is discrediting my story. But the thing is that the time that I did a TV show and my speech wasn't even like 1 year time. It was like only a few months of time. But once my one young world speech in 2014 and the time when I wrote book, my book was the final point where I cleared all my history. And let's talk about these people who criticize me, right? I'm so willing to hear them. What is the problem? And the thing is like they haven't even read my book. Like in order to criticize something, the minimum you do is like reading a book. I wrote the book for you to know what happened. And the people who didn't even read that going saying like, oh, you're a liar, you're like CIA trained spy. And the things they talk about like, right? I said, I never seen the map of the world. I never even knew what Africa was. And someone like brought a picture of a map of the world in one of the schools in Pyongyang and said, oh, Yeonmi is lying. There is a map of the world in North Korea. And I was like, I could say that like if someone come to me saying, oh, I never had a private jet when I was living in America. But I can say like, hey, I know I saw a photo of someone having a private jet in America. You're lying. So how do you want every single person coming from North Korea had the same exact life standard and experience? So, but the thing is, I'm here to explain. And before you call me names, I just really want to know, like, based on what are you saying? And like critical thinking is very important. But sometimes I really feel like people got that very wrong these days because you don't just cynicism is just not your purpose is not just being cynical. Your purpose is like learning about the truth. But people are more obsessed being cynical these days than like learning what is actual truth. And as long as you question something, it looks so intelligent and it looks so cool. And that is just I cannot stand that anymore. Like, so thank you, Jay. So thank you for your question. I'm really trying to today like explain to you about the lies and the rumors, accusations about my book and my story today. So I can't talk about other North Korean issues today, but like let's focusing on anything like that is related to like lies that you guys thought, you guys were curious, after reading my book or before reading my book, whatever it is. So let's say let's see guys, I'm trying to look into some questions. So someone said, how much are you going to teach your son about North Korea? I can't answer all the questions, guys, but today I'm just really here to clear the air up. But maybe I guess I just don't see a lot of the people asking like the lies that I thought everyone's talking about. Sometimes those people are the like loudest. So someone like, this is the hardest part. Like when I read your comments, it's just not a comment. Like I treat like a real human is behind what they're saying. I think that's why it hurts me more than I just can think of maybe some like robot who doesn't think like wrote this comment. And that's why like, just today I really wanted to give opportunity for those people who keep saying like, I'm a liar, I'm a paid agent, whatever those people, I just want you to understand why they're thinking that way. So Tommy asked, are you planning to write a new book? Not yet, but I do want to write another book. My next book, I thought about. I mean, many ideas, right? Like, I really wanna understand. Like, some days I wanna like talk to a lot of experts and think what they're going to think, how we can free North Korea. But if I know that answer, right, I need to go sit down with Biden and talk about how bring North Korean regime down, right? So I don't think that's possible to know. So I'm like thinking a lot of directions what I should write next that will be helpful to the world. Um, anyway, so let's see. Truth to be, yes, I never heard of any lies about you. Haters are always going to hate. Do you not let them go get you? You know the truth. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this is the thing, like when I talk about the mass starvation and the human rights abuses, and it's like the resemblance of a Holocaust that is happening in North Korea, the UN declared. And people say like, oh, I'm sure it's bad. I believe you, right? And I mean, honestly, sometimes I feel like that's not enough. It's like if think about it, if you went through the Holocaust and then you tell the people, and then some people say, I'm sure that was worse. Like, I believe you. But it's almost the attitude is that, oh, because you're a survivor, like, oh, what can I say? It's just I pity you. I'm sure it is what you're saying is right. And like we don't say like, oh, I believe, there's oxygen. We don't say that. Like, I believe. It's like it's a fact. Like, I mean, people say like, oh, you're lying. There's no human rights abuse in North Korea. Come on, guys. I mean, Kim Jong-un kills his half brother, poisoning him, killing him in the most inhumane way, and he was on the news. North Korean newspaper said they executed like Jang Song-taek, the uncle of Kim Jong-un. So how on earth people saying there's no like public execution in North Korea? And these people keep saying like you're lying because America is as worse as North Korea or even worse than North Korea is. So as soon as and all these people, I just don't get it. Like, this is a fact. It's not something you need a faith. Like when I was like people tell me about Bible, and of course like I didn't see God, right? And they're saying, oh, belief is like God needs a faith. You gotta believe in something even though you cannot see it. But North Korea is not about belief. It's a fact, guys. It's in front of our eyes. Like if you go on satellites, you see the concentration camps, and I can send you the public execution videos that came out from North Korea. And the poverty, and the United Nations who went to all the surveys now saying like more than 60% of population are starving. And think about the defectors. There are now like 35,000 North Korean defectors have made it to South Korea. So you really think, and then there are over like 200,000 defectors in China. So including all of the numbers, 300,000 North Korean defectors have got out from North Korea. So you can say that like all 300,000 of us sat down one day and then like let's tell the world about lie that we create, and we're gonna match every detail, and we're spreading lies. Like how this is possible? This many survivors came out, and you can see from the technology like satellite, and still like something about what is happening in North Korea requires some kind of faith. I mean, this is like a fact. I mean, like before we didn't have those satellites, everything, people had to believe the Earth was round. And now we can see the Earth is round. So, and we don't need the faith anymore to believe that. And this is like most bizarre thing. Like, I don't know why people cannot accept the facts. Like, I think this is why that we didn't able to change North Korea. That's why there's like, so many just things that in the world is so wrong. Naksim. So there's much speculation involved in North Korea. There's many channels and want to ask you about Kaheva. Is it reliable from Ayan? Thank you. Naksim is how I say your name. I have seen some of her videos about North Korea related, like Kaheva is alright. She's like South Korean student studying at the Seoul National University. I mean, I don't think it's my place to judge what she's saying or not. I think she's some kind of like myth teller. Is that right? Like I got some vibe from her that she was more having her like theories about. I don't know. I don't want to like play anyway, but I guess you guys can judge yourself. But the thing is, the reality, all I can say is way more complex and way more boring than a lot of people projects. You know, the world is so complicated. There's no way we can understand the full of complexity where we are living in. And I think that's why we gotta understand that. Like whenever says somebody like this is black and white, that's when we know that person is lying. So hi David, thank you. So those who say you lie are only trying to discredit you and divert from the truth you tell, just like 1984. Oh, thank you. I know, like I should not get bothered as much because the people. I mean, the thing is still though, like in the past, I thought like when there was an article came out on the Diplomat in 2000, I think 14, end of it after my huge talk, and it's saying like, oh, she was wearing that hanbok, the Korean national dress, to pay attention, and she practiced to cry what second and how much tears she's gonna shed. So she learned how to human psychology and how to spread lies that way. And the organizer of the event like One Young World, told me to wear the national like dress. And that was like the youth conference, like more than 194 countries were participating, and all those representatives had to wear the dress. And this is the people like I don't get it. Like why would you do that? Like think that way about another human. I just sometimes so confused. Like this is like what comfort and luxury maybe creates, right? Like people are resentful that your life is easy. Almost it seems like that to me. Like people are resentful that you're almost free. I mean, I don't get it. Like everybody do not have the freedom that you have right now to talk about people like from North Korea. They're liars because you said like one time you crossed the like 3 hills, but I looked it up satellite photos. It's like it's not mountains, it's the hills, right? People say, oh, one time you said that you watched Bollywood movies, but the other time you said Hollywood movies. Because I watched both. I watched the Hollywood movies. I watched the like Bollywood movies. I watched the Chinese movies, and I watched Soviet Union movies. And so, depending on the conversation, at some point I said I watched Bollywood movie, and they said like, "Oh, you're lying because last time you said a Hollywood movie. Why this time you're saying you're talking about Bollywood movie?" And just get a life. I just don't get it. Like. Anyway, guys, I promise not to get upset today. So this is like me getting upset. If some of you have wondered, like literally I've been getting these messages saying like, oh my God, you went through hell. Like, how are you not angry? And I do get angry, as you can see now. Love you guys so much. So I know I would love to be the like live chat more today, but I just really wanted this time to be clearing the air about and I'm not here to like tell you believe me. It's just more about I just really ask you if you had any questions about the lies that is around me. But I guess maybe it's not anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. Like because I get so many emails every single day, like you liar, go die, and I wake up from those emails every day, and this like it does get me sometimes. So Claudia, thank you. So we believe you don't listen to haters. You're helping your fellow North Koreans to safety. Would you do a reaction video to the movie Assassins about Kim Jong Nam's murder and see how fair the trial was? Oh, thank you so much. I would love to. I did hear about the movie that was made about Kim Jong Nam's death in Malaysia, and I did not know the movie was actually out. So I will definitely check it out. So okay, guys, I will just now select some questions from you here and there. Thank you, Emily. Let's see. Your haters like 10 years old mostly. I hope they are, but I really think, yeah, I don't know. It's just, uh, Yeonmi, it's Western socialist reporters that are targeting popular outspoken defectors because they are pushing a socialist agenda. Do you guys really think that is right? Like, I don't know at this point why so much controversy, like something like North Korea. As much I keep saying, right, there's some, most of things in life is gray, it's not black and white. But I think one thing we can say is black is North Korean regime. There is no way we can say something is good for about this regime. And I don't understand why I have to keep arguing with the people why this dictatorship is bad for the humanity. And like how some people just lost their mind and keep worshiping this dictator. I just don't get it. Like, what are they doing to you? And I mean, as I've been translating more of those lyrics that North Koreans have to force to sing. And when I was in North Korea, I had no idea how unusual those lyrics were, how unusual those videos were. And actually, I was like looking at them, translating them with my mom yesterday. I was like laughing and just couldn't, just in a shock. Like, and entire my life, I thought, like worshiping Kim's like without you, there is no us. Like without Kim, that I will never exist in this world. Like I'm not worthy like that, and believing in a one family of dictators as some gods. And I'm trying to help you to understand what happened to our psychology, but I am also like really curious what happened to the people's psychology in this freedom. And there's so much resentful to be free, and so much resentful to be prosperous and not hungry. And yeah, like this free market and capitalism and democracy gave us so much, and like what about it that you don't like? Of course it has some problems, but still like it did way more better than any other thing did to us throughout human history, right? Nothing lifted us more than capitalism did. And that's why like you guys saw that, right? Those like the videos about North Korea talking about America. There are no birds in America because they're gonna be all eaten by the people. And Americans sitting on the human bodies on those blue bags. And that's like literally what is happening in North Korea. And how are you not grateful and keep saying like you want to be like North Korea? Um, so hi, greetings, burpees. Burps, is that burp? SI, greetings from Mexico. So okay, I guess I don't. You can just see whatever the questions come up along the way, guys. Thank you for joining again. I know I just so much was in my like chest. Could you tell me your opinion about the happiness? I'm not sure about what it is, so I'll make a note about that. So, what North Korea says about you is what they actually are. I know that's what it is actually. I couldn't believe like when I came to America, seeing all those pigeons, guys. I never seen those pigeons, and North Korean pigeons are like third the size of American pigeons. And I couldn't believe like nobody was catching those pigeons. And I went to not the parks, and there were like dogs just walking around, and nobody was catching them. And I was so shocked, like why no one is catching them in North Korea? You will never ever see the live thing, and this is really sad. Like even when you have dogs, right? Of course, like having pets is illegal. Like Kim thought that was a bourgeois thing to have pets, and he's like, we don't even have grains to feed people. We cannot give it to the animals. So now recently, like Kim Jong Un demanded to confiscate all the dogs and pets in North Korea, and then just kill them. And it is as much as it's shocking, but like the thing is, like in North Korea, like people like literally even poison the other people's dogs because they are hungry and they have to catch something to survive. Like life is survivor, and you cannot tell like North Korea, you guys have no hearts. How do you kill dogs? But when people are dying, children are dying, and we don't have any hearts if we don't care about humans or children are dying like that. We cannot judge North Korean people for doing that for sure. So yeah, like in America, seeing all these pigeons, like my son loves feeding pigeons, and I buy these like multi-grains from Amazon, and I just can't believe some days like my people would die to have these grains, and the pigeons in America is well fed than even my people. And how do I not go nuts about this? Like how, like as someone who witnessed it, like how can I be not talking about this? And people as soon as I talk about it, they say, "Oh, America is the worst country that humanity ever had." So, all the man's strength. Universes love darkness. They are filled with the pro-communist propaganda and hatred for Western values. Yeah, yeah. As much as I didn't want to believe it, I was at an American university. I saw in the first hand, and it is it is. I think it's our responsibility to stop that. Like I am genuinely fearful of sending my child to the public school, and then one day he comes home and tells me how wonderful communism in North Korea is. Like how am I gonna deal with it for sure? So it's like there's somebody said, I heard a lie that you are paid by U.S. government to speak all this. I know that North Korea regime is the worst. Thank you. I know. So this is a main accusation that I get. So I was trained by CIA. That's what these people say. CIA trained me, and they are paying me to do what I do. So I mean, like I never even met anyone from CIA. I don't even know where they are. Like, how are they not reaching out to me? I sometimes I'm like curious. Like, isn't it time for them to reach out to me? But nobody does. Like, where this kind of ideas go to them? Are they crazy, or like, do you literally think that American CIA? I don't even know what they do. Gonna go to a North Korean who doesn't even have any like sensitive information about North Korea, and then they're gonna train me to what? So there are like thousands of the people who gave the testimony to the United Nations in 2014 or 13. So the UN like trained all of them to be like doing what I do together. Like how is it possible? That just, oh my. So now since how I say, like rest assured your efforts are working. I watch your videos every day. I might not be Korean, but people in North Korea are our brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, okay. Let's go back to someone says very light thing. Tell us about your skincare routine. This is very. So I know so many people have been asking me about my skincare routine, so I gotta do that. I think I don't do any laser. I don't do any facial. I wash my face morning and nighttime with a room temperature water, not too cold, not too hot. And I wash it with a cleanser. I never use a soap. And I use a moisturizer and sunscreen like religiously. So I put tons of moisturizer at nighttime, and during the day. And I don't switch my products. I use the same products for like over 10 years. And also I don't buy the products in like expensive stores. I buy something from online store, and the packages are not pretty, but the products works for me. So I don't buy for like big names. So I keep it very simple, and I try I like believing my skin's own hair to revive by itself. And I'm so sorry. Why is all of you so curious about my skin, guys? I'm not a like beauty YouTuber, but I do want to help you if that's why you care about. Like, I think there's nothing wrong about taking care of yourself. And I know, like, I think some people really get shocked to see a North Korean like me. They somehow expect North Koreans. Not all of it. Some people really get shocked. They expect North Korean to be a bit more traditional, more conservative, and not backwards, but you know what I mean, a bit more like traditional, I say. And I like fashion. I like to try different dress, different style, and people get a bit confused. Like they say, "So you are from North Korea?" Like, yeah. There's you are like human rights activists, yeah. But then I'm not as boring than expected to be. So I know, like, I don't fit that stereotype of being someone coming from oppressive country, and also the stereotypes that we have for someone who fight for human rights. But the thing that I am trying to do is like, you don't have to be a certain type to fight for freedom or human rights. Human rights sounds so serious, but it is like our destiny, right? That's why I think my hope is just like trying to make a human rights as more approachable issue for every generation, for every class, for every different groups, and I hope that's working. I don't know. So, anyway, I know. So, okay, let's talk about everything today about me. So we talked about me being a liar, and I gave some like clarification, and I talked about my skincare today, and then the other one is about my personal life. I think it has to be public someday, and I think it will be. I just thought like nobody is like interested in my personal life, and I thought like it would distract people from my message. That's why I try not to talk about my personal life other than like my mother and sister. But I am, I don't know what to say about this. So I know. So I have my son, like, and I'm not. We've been separated, so that's why so many people like ask me about my ex, and yeah, it's well, I don't know what to say about it. Just think life happens, and people grow separately, and people evolve, and we change every single day, and sometimes we grow in a separate direction. But we are very amicable. There's no any adversity. We still respect each other so much, and it's still my best friend. But that's what it is, and that's why it's very hard for me to talk about my ex. So I hope you guys understand that. Block the trolls. I mean, I do. Sometimes I do block them, but just most of the times I just let them talk, and because I don't get offended, I'm just really happy to engage in any kind of conversation, right? Like as I keep saying in this channel, it's like the freedom of speech doesn't exist for me to have the speech, right? It exists to protect someone who I disagree, and therefore, as much I can, I do block it. Sometimes they really intervene in me to engage with other people, but as long as they are respectful, maybe not. I still like mostly I let them be what they want to do, and also it's really good for me to get the criticism too. Like I talked about why usually dictatorship falls, because they every time they become very narcissistic. All they hear is like how great they are, how amazing they are, and as soon as someone like has constructive criticism, dictators cannot take it. But that is bring them to their destruction. And that's why criticism is necessary for any healthy society. And that's why it's so dangerous in America right now. Just coming up with the idea, let's remove the hate speech, let's remove, racist like speech, let's remove this and that, and let's have only one speech that by what, said by whom, and like let's try to have only one narrative. This is like North Korea, right? Like you saw all those videos that I've been posting. It's like every single thing is one narrative, and I'm sure they don't offend anyone because everyone only knows one way of talking and thinking about things. But we need other ways of thinking. We need other ways of like seeing this different from different perspective, and that's why like in general, like I let the trolls like 80% time be there. I don't delete them. I don't actively do anything. I just like, okay, this is what people think, and if this is a really good, reasonable criticism, I take it in my heart, and that's why I put a lot of effort to reading your comments as well. So I don't go into the whole of being a narcissistic and think I'm special, because I'm not. Like we are like all flawed humans, needs a lot of improvements. So Claudia asks, which organizations we can donate to help North Korean Defect? I really want to help. Thank you. So I made a video how to help North Koreans, and in that video guide there are a lot of links that I attached. There's a link, it's called like Nao, who does a rescue, and the other one is NKSC, who does like getting information inside North Korea, and the other, I got two more, like one of them are helping defectors to resettle. So hopefully you check that video. It's called How to Help North Koreans. See. Let's see. So right, somebody asked, Charlie asked, was your father buried or cremated? Cremated is how I pronounce it. So this is a good question. I do get like frozen when I'm giving speeches and interviews, and I'm sure you guys noticed that too. When I talk about like Kim Jong-il, I say Kim Jong-un, and when I talk about Kim Jong-un, I say Kim Jong-il. It's not because my intention is trying to lie and create some like get attention. As on the spot, like I don't even know what I say sometimes. I look at the video, oh my god, I made a huge mistake at saying the wrong number and saying the wrong name. So in that speech, in the speech one of the interviews I gave or something, one young word speech that I gave, that the Korean dress that you guys also, a lot of you have seen, that they told me to write a 500 words speech. So a lot of the words had to be cut. And what we did when my father was passed away, he passed away actually not that many weeks. He passed away during the full moon time in China, so early of February. He passed away in 7 a.m. I don't know. I woke up around 7:15 or 7:30 a.m. and he was passed away. And his body was still warm, so that's we thought, okay, he only like died like 15 minutes ago. Okay, so and then we had to wait because it was during the daytime, and normally, right, like someone dies, like you call people, like you let the neighbors know and paying the respect for someone who has passed away. But we had nobody with my mom, and we sat down in that apartment in China. I think it was like a Jinzhou, like a north and east side. We waited whole day actually, and when the night fell down, and that's someone like the broker who bought me brought a car, and we moved his body. And then the first place that we went to was actually cremation center. So he bribed somebody at the cremation center. It's illegal to cremate them with the IDs, but we cremated. I think it was around 1 a.m. or something. And I didn't have like a watch back then, so I don't even like. I remember it was after everyone fell asleep, and that's when we moved him. And then when he was sending in, and I knew that my father was gonna. He was so afraid of to be burned after he was passed away, but he told me he still wanna go back after he's passed away. So like keep my body, like my remainings somewhere, and take me back when Korea is becoming one. And in China, because of there's so many people, the land is very limited, so you cannot bury somebody without cremate them. So we cremated him, and then my mother and I waited, but the Chinese, their methods very wasn't very good. Just it wasn't becoming powder, just a lot of bones came out. So it was very hot. I didn't have a glove, so I would just put his like bones into something, some kind of bowl. And then they told me like it's not a good luck for a mother to go to bury the father, and they said it's a children's job to bury their father. Somehow in China, usually the sons roar, but they said he doesn't have a son, so it's your job. So that was around 3 p.m. I had to go to the mountain, like climb, and a broker and somebody else came with me, and I don't know who they were other than the broker who bought me. And then I carried him to the mountain. So I don't exactly know like what 3:15 or 3:30, and around that time, that's when I buried him in the mountains, and I came down. But like this takes a lot of time to put into like 500 words like speech, right? So in other interviews, where I could give more context, I said like I cremated him and then I buried him. So, and this is the kind of thing, like these like little details that maybe if I was a better person, more intelligent, I could have dealt better. But I do not know like what a huge difference it was for the people. Like he died same day, right before burying him, I cremated. And I couldn't really talk to the people in America why it's illegal in China to bury somebody without cremate them. And so that is the first story about his burial and his passing away. And yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you, Shelby. Okay. I am staying strong. It's just like I don't know, like you guys really, I heard like in America you guys don't really celebrate the full moon, and in Asia do. And then my father, yesterday I drove in the car with my son, and I saw this full moon. I hope you go see out the moon today. It's beautiful. And I saw like there's such a full moon, and that's whenever I see the full moon, like that's when I think about my father's passing. And like when everyone in China were like celebrating this full moon day, and I could even, mourn my father's death. So it just felt so world felt so unfair, I think, back then. But now I don't feel that anymore, of course. Thank you, guys. Okay, so what other questions did you have? Anything that you thought was inconsistent? So somebody keep asking, is your mother seeing someone, and where is your sister? My mom is single like me. We are both single ladies, and my sister is in South Korea, and she's an elementary school teacher, and she's very happy. My sister loves children, and she loves like teaching kids, and that's what she's doing. She's living very private life and doing the things that makes her happy. So someone keep asking, so are you taught basic science in North Korea schools like sun, moon, planets, satellites? I'm sure elite schools do teach them, but I didn't get to learn because I was in a countryside, and North Korea is like 98% of energy spent on learning about the revolution and history of Kim's, the greatness of the Kim's. I mean, you guys also the like those songs, right? Every subject has to relate to glorifying the Kims. So I'm sure like talking about Mars and satellites and different planet was very hard to connect it to Kims. But the Kims did say that they are Kim's are the Kim Jong Il was the captain of this whole humanity and whole species in this entire universe, and he was the captain of all of us. And that's when I heard like some kind of like other planet, but I did not know the names or how many, the galaxy, none of that. I didn't know. I didn't even know what Big Bang was. It took a while for me to understand what Big Bang was, and I mean, who knows how we began, but the one of the scientific theories, Big Bang, right? How we came to be who we are, and they don't teach really us. They only teach the time how we began the revolution with the Kims and his leadership, and how we are so grateful. That's like the main education focus. So let's see. You're so sick, guys. Thank you. So, what do you think about Kim Jong Nam murder? The half brother of Kim Jong Un, and who was actually the legitimate heir in North Korean context to the throne. Well, I mean, guys, like I don't have that much compassion for the Kims, so I'm fine. It doesn't hurt my heart to see him passing away. But if he was somebody who cared about North Korean people, I do care about him. And it's just, but the thing is, I don't know really who he was. Actually, all I need here is like on the newspapers. And how do you know actual story by reading the news? This is like the thing I really want you guys to know is that like everything is written on newspaper doesn't mean truth. And that I learned like in the past, right, guys? When I met someone like a politician and they told me, oh, she's the worst person, she's the like this, and told me. And that happened to me afterwards. So now it's very hard for me to like believe newspapers actually, and what is true and what is not. And that's why it is good to question things. It is definitely good, but I think as long as we understand the complexity of the truth, that is a good thing. Than just like believe something that was written on the internet. Oh, thank you so much, David. You're the best. So, oh, thank you guys. I send so much love to you too. I'm like this afternoon, I was planning to go to sled with my son in Chicago. There has been so much snow in Chicago. And I know I woke up with just like so many few people, but they send me like so many like messages, so it feels like a lot, and keep telling me you're a liar, but didn't even tell me why I'm a liar. And I just really wanted to give those people opportunity to ask me why they thought the way they did. So let's see. Let's see. How long have we done? We almost did like this. I mean, 54 minutes. So let's answer 3 more questions. As a free person, how can I contribute to your fight? It's really depending on who you are. Like, one, raising awareness always helps. So we can start a global campaign. And 2, if you have talents or resources, you can donate to the non-profits. And or you can volunteer at the non-profits. It's all about what you are you students, like, all of that, depending on the position that you are in. Let's see, I think somebody just, let's see, Alexandru, I say sorry for being important. inappropriate, but you're single married kid. No, I was married, but not anymore. So I think that would be more clear to you. So are you not scared the regime is going to hunt you down? I am scared. It'll be a life. I'm not, but it's like I'm gonna live only once, and I try to live life fullest if I can. And in my definition of my existence, this is the meaningful life that I want to live, that I think my father will be proud of. So that's what I do. I mean, there are obstacles, right? When you try to do something in the world, of course. And also, the thing is that I try to think this way. Yeah, of course, Kim Jong can kill me, but I can also die from the car accident. And we all die once anyway, so why do I stop doing the things that I believe in out of fear of death from a dictator? And in a way that I feel like I kind of lived for more than 1,000 years by now. I have seen so much. I really saw a lot of things, and I don't have that a lot of like feeling of like, oh, I have to live more to see more. I didn't see a lot, so I think I will be okay. This life was quite a journey for me. Yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. So so the question is going up a bit fast. So now that Joe Biden is president, do you think the tension between North Korea and US will settle down? I mean, honestly, to talk about the North Korean policy only, right? With Obama, nothing. With Trump, there was a lot of ups and downs. And with Biden, it's too early to judge. I think what we need to do is just take our time and just see how he's gonna do about this. Only my worry is that he's gonna be like Obama, just do nothing. And right, like Obama literally did nothing about North Korea, and when he was leaving office and told Trump that, oh, this will be your biggest problem during your administration, right, and gave it to Trump. And I mean, Biden was with Obama back then, so I just hope that Biden is not gonna take the same step that he took when he was working with Obama. I hope he's gonna be different. So what are your thoughts on mental health care? What does it mean to you to take care of anxiety and mental health, especially since living in the US where physical needs are now met? It's it is. I mean, I guess I am lucky. I guess I have a strong mentor than I think some people. I know there are so many strong people in this world. I think the right mental health is just, it's really hard to understand it, right? Like even myself, I went to San Francisco a few months ago. I just couldn't believe it. And this is like the land of opportunity, and there's so much you can do to make things better and build things and live life in such a precious way, and see all those people, needles in their arms and just being on the street. I guess that is why I keep saying that. Of course, like, but the thing is, I wouldn't go to capitalism to blame those things, because the real truth is not as simple. Like, who knows, right? In most of humanity, only recently, because of the capitalism, we have stopped being hungry. Most of our existence as a humanity, we are hungry. And I guess humans are confused, right? Our biology is a bit confused. Like we never dare to this kind of prosperity. And like right, the organisms, how they evolve and adapt, it takes millions of years of evolution. And the technology changing our environment so fast, and that's why we see all this a lot of side effects that we do not anticipate. And instead of keep trying to point the fingers at something wrong problem and make things so like simple, I do want to see though like why more people are now like mentally unstable. That even being in North Korea, I never seen that many mentally ill people. I mean, if there was, right, the North Korean regime would take them away, and we don't get to see them, and maybe that is why they get to see that many people. And I think, but the thing is like depression and the people lose the right. The motivation is really the chaos with morality is chaos. I think this is what it is. In the past, like we had a religion like to follow, why we had to live life graciously and morally and diligently. Now the moral guidance disappeared with not with the materials, but with a lot of different things. And this is why I becoming more spiritual as I at some point actually like, guys, I was more saying like I was atheist after I got discriminated a lot from the Christian groups before, and I became like atheist. But as I'm becoming older, I see the importance of the guidance. I see the importance of meaning in life, and that's why I want my son to go to whatever the church that doesn't discriminate. Then I want him to go and hear, what is love, what is good, what is bad, what is forgiveness. But in our like now modern time, those things are like gone. It's complete chaos, and people are really confused. And that's why I think just there's so much lack of motivation among people to live life fullest. And that's what I think. uh, Thank you guys. So do you think the Kims would be stopped? Yes, it can be stopped if we all work together, right? Nothing is impossible. Like we saw the Soviet Union fair, like who knew that could happen? We saw Berlin Wall like fair, like we never knew that could happen. So it is very possible. But it is also very possible that totalitarianism might prevail in this world, that you guys have to pay attention to what is happening in China right now. The oldest people like being censored by the government, and it's spreading to the entire world. Like every single day, there's like less things and less things that even we can talk about in American mainstream media. So it's not like the freedom will prevail. This condition is not guaranteed. It is all up to us, like how we change the course of history. Ni Hao, say hello, me. What do you think about Medicare for all in America, like other countries have? I haven't lived in America that long, and I don't know, so that's why I think I might be wrong. That is the first condition. So do not take me seriously at all on this. Medicare for all, like is like right. It's a government covers everyone's health insurance. I mean, in the perfect world, right? Nobody should sick. If someone gets sick, everyone should be taken care of. All of that, but the thing is, we are fighting for the scarce resource, right? Things are scarce, and that's why the perfect our idea and what can actually work in reality without destroying the entire economy and be like North Korea, right? North Korea started like Medicare for all, like that. Like let's make the public education free for everyone. Let's make the healthcare free. Let's make no tax. So they got rid of tax, and they said everything's free, and then they went to the point like, oh, I will provide you food, I will provide you clothes, I will provide you your hairpin. That's like how far North Korea went. And look at it, nothing is working anymore. So I get the desire for people to have other people have equal access and have a really good care. The Medicare is, but then like that's we are not living in a perfect paradise. Like things are scarce, and we gotta fight for those little things that we have left, and that's why we gotta keep working what is best for people. But the answer is completely not letting government be in charge of everything. I think that is the answer to it, and especially the countries like America is so big. Like even in Switzerland, right? I only been there a few times. There's a lot of power into different like the providence they got, and if the government give more power each state, and each state can have they can have free healthcare for all if that state wants that policy. But why do we have to go to the federal level and do it from that level? America got this like 50 different states. We can try 50 different things and see what works and what worked for me and not. And as a people, we can move around. In North Korea, right, there's no other parts. Is freedom and people cannot move around. And if some people really want in like New York or maybe in Illinois, they can try it. But I don't want that to be for like every 50 states be that way in America. I think that is going to be a lot of waste of energy and waste. So that's what I think. Oh my god, I don't want to leave. I like you guys. I like talking to you guys so much. So let's do a few more because I promised to my son that I was going to take him to sled. I bought this like blue sled from Amazon. It was very cool. I will try to write a new book, but I will let you know if I do. So I wanna say, when do you think Korea reunite? I don't know. Unification is not my priority. My priority is actually let North Korean people to be fed and not die from starvation. Like that's like how literally I'm fighting for. I'm not even fighting for freedom in North Korea. Eventually I do, but first goal is that no child is dying from that kind of how on earth somebody should die from not having food, right? Think about how much we are throwing away right now in this free world. It just makes no sense. So the last question is going to be, which one should I answer? Thank you guys. You guys are so kind. What should I be answering? Oh yeah, Israel Miller said thank you. I'm hoping we can be friends too. Do you check your emails? Right. That's a good question. So I do hear a lot of people say I send you like Instagram direct message or Facebook direct message or email. I check few of them because a lot of them I get buried. And if I check all of those messages, right, I will never have time to watch my son or do my laundry or like do my other work, right? I will never have that time. I do check some chores because they literally send like 50 of them a day. Like every 5 seconds they come in and like I just eventually have to check it to block it. Unless you don't harass me like that, a lot of times I will not be able to see it, and I am thinking how I can change that. I really care about every message that you send me and every question that you send me, and I try to do all of that. So because like I don't have any manager, and that was a problem. I didn't have anybody help me from the beginning till here, and like I am in the same literary agent with Malala. And she had her father. I mean, it was her father are lovely. I met them and they're wonderful people. But like I did it everything by myself, and that's why I made way more mistakes than I should have. Because I remember when I was doing my talk, and then like a publisher company called me, said like, I'm calling from Penguin. And I literally thought back then like a bird was calling me. I did not even know Penguin was a publisher. And people like, oh, I want to have an interview with you from some, like, let's say like New York Times. And how the heck do I know what New York Times is? So back then I really had no clue what the word looked like. So I had made so many mistakes, and now I'm still like overwhelmed to check it all. And I will let you know if I can get a help, and so I can do more work and interact more with you guys further on. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry about me just getting so much stuff out in the beginning. I actually expected to be there were going to be, like thousands of trollers who's been bothering me all this time and gonna ask me serious questions, and somehow they didn't show up. So maybe they did show up. I didn't get to see them because things are going up and fast so much. Thank you guys. I hope to see you next time, and let me know if there are topics. So yeah, I've been keep promising to do the book Q&A, right? Book discussion. So I will set that up. And also this Wednesday, I have, like, yeah, last Wednesday I was going to bring a guest, the North Korean elite there who I know, who has a lot of information about the regime. So I might bring him on Wednesday so that I will keep you updated about it. So I hope you guys can come and show your support to him as well. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for your kind words and listening to me. I'm sorry about, I'm kind of embarrassed how angry I was in the beginning to, just find myself. So you saw me you finally got to see me. I was angry. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye guys. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. hmm Love you. Love you so much.